Okay, so I got cut off on the last video. So this is chapter 4, priority standard number 2. And I just wanted to make sure that I explained number 14. So I'm actually just going to do it again just to make sure. So if you don't need me to do that, just fast forward. But I'm just going to make sure I do this again to make sure that you understand it. So I'm going to erase what we had. You don't need to do that, but I just want to make sure that I explain it well enough that you can understand what's happening. So I'm just going to go ahead and erase all this and do it again. Okay, so this is number 14 for priority standard number 2. Okay, so I think I got it all erased now. So we're going to go ahead, if it will let me here, okay, and start this one over. So I'm first going to identify what A, B, and C are. So I know that A is 1, B is -2, and C is 9. I get that right here. This is the 1, there's the -2, and there's the 9. And I'm going to use quadratic formula. So I'm going to have x equals, so a -2 for negative b would be +2 plus or minus the square root. So I'm going to plug in b of -2 squared, that's the squared, okay, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 9, all over 2 times a, which is 1. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and plug what's under the square root into my calculator. Okay, so I went to my calculator and I plugged -2 squared minus 4 times 1 times 9, and I get -32. Okay, so what I circled in red right there, so I have 2 plus or minus the square root of -32 over 2 times 1, which would be 2. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce that -32. Now we know that the negative inside is going to become an I on the outside, and then I'm going to break down 32. So I know 32 is 2 times 16, okay? I know that 16 is 4 times 4, and I know that each 4 is going to be 2 2s. So I have the 2 that I had, and then another 2 for that 4, and another 2 for that 4. So there's a pair, and there's a pair. So when each one of those moves out, it becomes 1. So I get 1 2 outside for here, and I get another 2 outside for here. I have the I, and then this 2 right here is single, so it stays home. So this becomes 4i squared root of 2. Okay, so that's what I'm going to put right here where I have the square root of -32. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, see if I can move this down a little bit so I have some workspace. Okay, so then I'm going to put that where I have that square root of -32. So x equals 2 plus or minus, and then I'm going to have 4i squared root of 2 over 2. Okay, now where I got cut off on the last video was looking at this 2, this 4, and this 2. Because I can reduce all of those by 2, I have to do that. So this 2 divided by 2 would just be a 1. This 4 divided by 2 would be 2. Then I have the I and the square root of 2. Okay, and then this 2 divided by 2 would be 1. So my final answer would just be 1 plus or minus 2i squared root of 2, because I would not necessarily have to put it over 1. Okay, so just wanted to make sure I finished up that problem for you so that, and nice and slow so that you could understand what we were doing for that last problem. Yet again, so this is chapter 4, priority standard number 2.